had rented an Airbnb to stay at for several weeks while I was in between apartments. I had just moved out of my apartment and hadn't yet found another place to move to. So, I had all my stuff in a storage unit for the time being. This Airbnb was in a small neighborhood about 30 minutes from where I lived before. It seemed like a quiet town with not much going on. Not the cleanest or nicest place, but not the worst either. On one of my first few nights staying there, I happened to glance out the front window and saw a couple of guys standing outside of the house. They were on the sidewalk, but pretty clearly looking up at the house I was in. As soon as they saw me, they looked away and left the area, which just made it a little more odd than it should have been. But I didn't think it was anything worth looking into. I just closed the blinds and continued on with my night. Nothing worth mentioning happened for the rest of the night or in the morning. Though on that following day in the afternoon, I headed out to my car real quick to grab a few loose things that I'd forgotten and noticed a guy down the road. He was standing by the curb just one house over. And when we made eye contact, he had this weird stare like he knew me or something. Sort of gave me the creeps. So, I just looked away and walked back inside. I thought if it could have been one of the men that I saw outside the house last night, but I really had no way to know. When I saw those guys, it was too dark to get any good look at them. And I'm not sure why that would warrant such a weird stare from this guy anyway. So again, I brushed it off as nothing and didn't worry about it. I had to get some work done that day, so I was on my laptop in the bedroom working for several hours, then spent another few hours looking through the apartment websites for anything good. I got up around 8 o'clock, heading back downstairs to the kitchen to make something quick for dinner. And at 9 o'clock, just before bed, I tied up the trash bag and took it out to the bins on the side of the house. While I was out there, I noticed a small stone path leading to the backyard. Honestly, I'd been so caught up in other things the few days that I'd been there, I'd never even checked out the backyard at all. The path just reminded me, and so I followed it through the fence gate. The backyard was fenced in by this very old weathered wooden fence. And from the inside of the house, it looked small and like there was nothing much aside from a fire pit in the grass. But off to the side, there was actually a shed. Fairly big one, too, made out of the same weathered wood as the fence. And peeking through the gaps in the wood, there was lights. Of course, confused, I walked up to it. I listened for a moment, somewhat concerned someone might be in there, but I didn't hear anything. So I opened it up. No one was there, but the small overhead light bulb was on. Before clicking it off, I looked around a little bit because this shed was not what I expected. I assumed there'd be old rusty tools all over and maybe just a bunch of junk, but it was not at all like that. The shed had an old couch, a couple of desks and dressers, but otherwise was empty. I clicked off the light and closed the doors. I had that little voice in the back of my head saying that was really concerning, that it looked like someone might have been in there, and the light being on was really suspicious. But surely that wasn't it. The light must have been left on for days, well before I got there, and I never noticed it because I wasn't in the backyard at all. I headed in and sat on the couch, deciding to watch some TV before bed to keep my head clear. I didn't even make it to bed, though. The couch was one of those pull-out recliner ones, so I was basically lying down while watching TV. And after just 30 minutes, I was out cold. Hours later, I woke up to a thump. My eyes opened quickly and I heard it again. Someone was walking inside the house. Their footsteps slowly moved down the staircase and into the front hallway, then toward one of the rooms in the back of the house. I almost didn't believe myself, like this was a dream or something. I got up from the couch and walked quietly to the corner of the room, then looked around the wall. A figure was standing in the dark, facing away from me and looking like he was peering around the room he was in, like he was looking for something or someone. I moved back out of sight. After a moment, his footsteps moved through the hallway and approaching the living room. I immediately moved to the other side, and just before I had time to go anywhere else, I froze in the corner as the man walked into the opening of the room. He stood there facing me, darkness covering every detail of him. His head moved, looking at the couch, and then he mumbled something under his breath. "Where the hell?" A short, frustrated whisper to himself. He couldn't see me. I was in the darkest corner of the room, nearly pitch black. But I knew if he walked any further in and got closer, he'd surely notice. But he didn't. He just peered in and looked at the couch, then walked away. His footsteps went to the back door and he left. I grabbed my phone and keys and booked it out to my car. I called 911 and the Airbnb host, who did not respond. Police arrived, and even though the host didn't respond to my call, he showed up just minutes after the police did. The whole thing was over within an hour though, with basically nothing happening. They looked around with flashlights and took my report. Then I got a refund for my stay and left. That was it. Obviously, I'm extremely convinced that that man inside the house was the owner. But even more disturbing is that he was looking for me. When I woke up, I heard his footsteps coming down the staircase. So, he had entered the home and walked directly upstairs to the bedroom, and only then did he come back down to search the other rooms. Luckily, he checked the living room last, and I'd already woken up by then. So, when he whispered, "Where the hell?" under his breath, it was probably because he couldn't find me, despite knowing I had to be inside somewhere. Had I not fallen asleep on the couch and been in one of the bedrooms when the guy entered the home, I don't know if I would have woken up or what would have happened next. Generally speaking though, I probably would have gone missing and not been seen again after that night.